One of the worst career questions you can ask someone is, what should I do? It sounds reasonable. You are confused. They are experienced. So you assume they can guide you. But here is the problem. The moment you ask, what should I do? You're asking someone to make a decision for you that depends entirely on information they do not have. They do not know your financial situation. They do not know your risk appetite. They do not know your family responsibilities. They do not know what kind of work energizes you. They do not know what kind of work slowly drains you. So they do what anyone would do. They answer to the best of their own life. You ask 5 people, you get 5 different answers. One says do an MBA, another says MBA is not worth your time. One says join a startup, another one says startup is too unstable. One says follow your passion, another one says be practical. And all 5 might be partially correct, but you would end up with more confused than where you started. The issue is not that the advice is bad. The issue is that the question you asked is bad. If you ask a bad question, you will get a bad answer. Hi, my name is Amit and I am a clarity coach who works with post-MBA graduates to declutter their thinking and get their career story straight so that they can make decisions they actually feel confident about. This is the 4th and final video in this series, and in this one, I want to give you something concrete, a 5-question framework you can use in any career conversation to walk away with real insight instead of more confusion. But first, let me show you why most career conversations fail. Most career conversations go wrong because people ask for conclusions. Should I move to product? Should I do consulting? Should I leave this company? Should I take this offer? The moment you ask a yes or no answer, the other person compresses their entire career path into one option. And that option is almost always filtered through their experiences, their personality, their constraint, not yours. The shift you need to make is stop asking opinions and start collecting data. For example, instead of asking, is product management a good career? Ask, what does your actual week looks like? What looked attractive from outside but feels difficult from inside? What kind of person enjoys this work? And what kind of person struggles? Now you're not collecting an opinion. You are collecting data, and data is more useful because you can process it through your own context. A PM who says product management is great tells you almost nothing. But the PM who says most of my days involve ambiguity, influencing people without authority, managing conflicting priorities, making decisions with incomplete information, that tells you a lot. Now you can ask yourself, do I like ambiguity? Can I influence without a formal authority? Am I comfortable with slow, messy outcomes? That is the difference between an advice and an insight. Advice tells you what someone thinks you should do. Insights help you understand whether the path actually fits you or not. Don't ask people to make your decisions. Ask them to fill your information gaps. And when you do get an advice, treat it like a case study, not a conclusion. When someone says, startup transformed my career, the lesson is not join a startup. The lesson might be, I grow faster when I have high ownership and direct accountability. Those are very different takeaways. Also, always ask about the cost, not just the reward. Every career path will give you something and take something away from you. People will usually only tell you what they gained. Very few will actually tell you what they had to give up. Ask, what did this path actually cost you? That one question will reveal more than any job description ever will. Because if someone only tells you the upside, you're not getting advice, you're getting marketing. So here is the framework. 5 questions you can use in any career conversations you're having with anyone. First, what does your actual day-to-day looks like? Not the LinkedIn version, not the job description. What is the real work? What do you spend most of your time doing? What part is energizing? What part is repetitive? What part is emotionally difficult? This question will reveal what the reality of that role is. Second, what are the hidden downsides of this path? See, every role has pain that is invisible from outside. Ask about stress, politics, slow growth, lack of control, lifestyle cost, skill gaps. Not to scare yourself, but to know exactly what you are signing up for. This question reveals trade-offs. Third, what kind of person thrives here? Listen carefully to this one. Do they say people who enjoy ambiguity, people who are patient, people who can handle rejection, people who like structure, people who are more comfortable with conflict? Match their answer against what you know about yourself. This question reveals the fit. Fourth, what kind of person should avoid this path? See, this is often more useful than asking who should join, because it tells you exactly what the path will demand. And you can honestly assess whether these demands match who you actually are or not. This question reveals mismatch. Fifth, if you are starting again, what would you do differently? This gives you a hindsight you have not earned yet. It reveals mistakes, wasted efforts, skills they wish they had built earlier in their career, and what actually mattered versus what only looked important from outside. One honest answer here can save you months, sometimes years, and hence this question reveals what actually matters. And after every conversation, before you act on anything, ask yourself 3 things. Did I actually learn? What part of this applies to my specific situation? What part should I ignore because their context is too different from mine? Because every good advice should not bypass your judgment. And one more thing. If you ever find yourself speaking to more and more people, trying to find one person who confirms the decision you already want to make, please stop. It is not advice seeking, it is validation seeking. You're not looking for truth, you're looking for emotional comfort. The answer may already be inside you. You just have not given yourself permission to trust it yet. Now let me bring the full picture together. Across the 4 videos, we have explored one complete idea from 4 different angles. In the first video, we talked about why more advice creates more confusion. Not because people are wrong, but because your brain cannot process unlimited competing possibilities without filter. Second video, we talked about why waiting for perfect career clarity keeps you stuck, and why 70% clarity with a 30-day experiment is more useful than 6 months of thinking. In the third video, we talked about why everyone else's career looks better than yours, because you're comparing your raw footage to their edited trailer. And in this video, we talked about how to actually use career conversations as tools to collect insights, valuable data points, not just opinions. The thread that connects all 4 of them is simple. Career clarity does not come from outside. It comes from understanding yourself clearly enough to know what information you need, which advice is relevant to you, and which decisions are yours to make. More opinions will not give you that. More thinking will not give you that. More compassion will not give you that. Only honest self-knowledge will give you that. If these 4 videos resonated with you, the work I do with clients in the Clarity Sprint goes much deeper. It is a structured 5-session process where we work through exactly what you are optimizing for, what your non-negotiables are, and what the next honest moves looks like based on who you are, not what everyone else around you think you should be. If you are curious, the link is in the description. Because you do not need more options about your career. You need better questions, you need better filters, and the confidence to trust your own judgment. Take that advice. Ask great questions. Learn from people, but never hand over your decision to them. Because nobody else has to live with your career at the end of the day. It is you who has to live with your own career. Thank you.